If you ask people what they plan to do on their 75th birthday, I'd venture a guess very few would say they plan to jump out of an airplane. But Dee Thompson did. Even if you haven't seen the movie, we've all heard the term bucket list. Well, skydiving has been on Dee's bucket list for quite some time now. In fact, most of her friends and family figured by this time she'd never get to it. Well, they were wrong.
Life is short. I'm 75 years old today, and I don't have that much more of a life, I'm sure, at least that I could jump out of a plane.
Dee Thompson's 75th birthday won't easily be forgotten. I can guarantee that. Do you feel 75 on the inside?
Oh no, my mind feels 30. My body feels 100.
There's no doubt she's still young at heart. So what made her decide to skydive now? We interviewed her before the jump to see what she expected. What are you expecting to feel like tomorrow?
Truthfully, closer to God. That's my main reason for doing it. I am wanting to thank Him for so many blessings in my life. And I wanted to get close to Him, and everybody said, why don't you just fly on the fruitin' plane? And I said, no, because I'm deathly afraid of heights. So I want to show Him my faith by jumping out of a plane and saying, thank you, Jesus, for everything you've given me.
What do you think it's going to feel like?
From what I heard, it's going to be just like floating in air. And why wouldn't you want to do something that makes you feel so peaceful?
It's not exactly peaceful. Well, not at first anyway. When you first leave the plane, you do a flip. Then you free fall at about 120 miles an hour for the next 30 seconds. This is the part that gives you quite an adrenaline rush.
Jumping out of the plane was terrifying because it was like I looked down and it was like, no! When I first jumped out, I thought I'm going to die.
As part of the agreement to get to do her story, Dee asked me to jump with her. So I did. After the first 30 seconds, the ripcord is pulled. And as expected, the parachute deploys. It's a very peaceful ride down after that. Well, except for the hard G-force inducing turns like this one.
Oh my God. I didn't think I'd do it this old, but life is here. Why not join in? It was the moment I wanted to have with the man upstairs, and I had that. And I thanked him when I was up there. And outside, and the rest of the time I was saying, please God, get me down.
Dee took this decision very seriously. Before she decided to jump, she did her homework and chose to use the Air Capital Drop Zone in Derby, Kansas to achieve her goal. Today, Dee is doing a tandem jump with David Poland.
Ready for this? Looks like you've got a harness on.
Yeah, I think I'm ready.
Let's take a look at your parachute. Oh no, there's no parachute back there.
It's going to be a fast fall.
It will. I tell you what, I put this really big one on.
Okay.
We'll jump out together, all right?
Okay.
All right, we'll see you at the plane.
Okay.
The fact that these instructors are so laid back and funny takes a lot of the stress out of the situation. But despite the humor, they take this job very seriously.
All right, this is a mock-up of the plane. The only thing that's really actual to size is more or less is this doorway and the location of the step.
Okay.
So after about 15 minutes of training and a 15-minute flight to get us up to 10,000 feet, it was time to jump. The trip down only lasts about 8 minutes total. Before we jumped, Dee said her biggest concern wasn't the jump itself.
I don't know how the landing's going to be. I may wear a couple of diapers to just to soften the blow. But outside of that, I think it's going to be great.
Turns out the landing was probably the most gentle part.
See, the landing was great.
All right, Dee, what'd you think of your first skydive?
God, it was wonderful.
Congratulations, you did an excellent job. Everybody lands safely. We all live for another day. Thank you.
Despite the fact these instructors have done thousands of jumps, they say they still get an adrenaline rush just like we do.
No, you can't really explain
No
it.
words for it. Felt good. It was great. It was wonderful.
Was it what you thought it was going to be?
More. Oh, more. Much more. I didn't know I'd be that scared. I think I could do anything now. Because if I could fly out of a plane like that, I can do anything. It was like time stood still. It was just like being a bird and time just was still. And it was just wonderful. Suddenly we went into that beautiful glide and it was amazing.
Dee says she actually wishes she would have done this a whole lot sooner.
You got to more or less give it all to God and do what you think is good in your heart, and your life will be magical. I think that you should grab every dream that you can grab.
Well, she definitely grabbed this one with both hands. This isn't the last thing on Dee's bucket list, though. Next year, she says she wants to celebrate her birthday in a hot air balloon. By the way, only 1% of the population has ever made a skydive. If you're interested in becoming a part of that 1%, contact the Air Capital Drop Zone at this number or go to this website for more information.